Oh, I can start.
Please, yeah, thank you. While I get
Everyone,
this.
it's Matt Law from calling from the Hague in the Netherlands. It's June, but raining and very cold, which is very. That's a whole nother conversation to have. How rainy and cold it is in Europe right now. But it's really great to be back with the Connection Hour. We had quite a few sessions a few years ago, and it's really good that we can bring them back and reconnect with everybody. I think it's a really good time to do it as well. We've all been very busy with many things, and the world's evolving and changing as always. So it's great to connect with people. I think connection and the need to connect with people is as important as ever. So that's my introduction. Mary, hand it over to you.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Mary Aroyan, licensed psychotherapist. I've been working with Manijeh for 4 years now. I'm grateful for the MLO modalities because it's helped me develop my personal and business professional skills with these modalities. And I'm looking forward to training as a MLO professional and achieving our goal of 1 billion individuals optimizing.
Cool. Lou, you want to say hello?
Yeah, if I can get used to this technical stuff, it's so yeah. Hi guys, I'm Lou. I'm into sound healing and things like that, and I really like the fact that people are trying to get a community together because that's our main intention at the yoga studio I own, and it's certainly becoming easier, but COVID is still having an effect on people, which is quite outstanding after all these years, and we know we have to get on with life. Yeah, so it's super exciting to meet a group of like-minded people and to get this thing underway, really. So thank you.
Randy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Randy. I'm a avid practitioner, facilitator of our beginning MLO courses. And yes, it's great to reconnect with everybody on a global aspect and just really try to pick up the pieces. Like Lou said, people have just become afraid of leaving their homes, and it's really detrimental to society and human connection. So hopefully we can resurrect that in some fashion. So happy to be here. Happy to see you all. And excuse, there's construction going on outside my office, so I'm going to keep muting myself.
We have a new member. We have someone new.
I'm gathering people. I'm sending things out. Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for starting the show and being here. It's so amazing to really connect. You know, the human life depends on connection with one another in any format that we can possibly do it. And so in this era of AI and technology, we rely heavily on this, right? However, there's also glitches, just like our human mind has glitches. Our human program has glitches, right? So, so no, no surprises. But I am very happy to be here with Mary Aroyan and Matthew Law, and people are still, trickling in. So thank you for being patient, being kind, being lovely, and being here. So please continue, if you would, talk about why you're here and what brought you here to begin with, aside from me pulling. You have to come in, Lou. Yeah. And what I want to do is to take another like 4 or 5 minutes to see if anybody else having issue with the link to get in to help them out. Yeah, see, these are okay. So it's working. It's sent out the link and it's working. Okay, good. So why don't you, Matthew, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, you know, as far, hi, Richard. Oh, so good to see you. Yeah. What you're doing in, you know, in the world of humans, as far as what you're encountering with things that people are having difficulties with, anything, I think anything at this point to give us a little bit more time for a little bit, you know, more people to come in so we can then transition. Let's just connect where we are, however it's going.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like I said, you know, we did Connection Hour a few years ago, and I think the world's changed quite a bit since then for a lot of different reasons. And I know I've been continuing my own practice and working with Manijeh. She's been working very hard on her book and MLO and courses, and I one of my reflections more than anything is that MLO and what Manijeh is teaching is needed more than ever. And you see this across a variety of different areas, whether it just be from an individual point of view or whether it be from big organizations in government, in schools, or in small businesses and in B Corps as well. So what I've been doing and very busy on in the last few years is just particularly working on how we develop skills and qualities and leaders and organizations to work on their aspirations to improve the world. And improving the world starts with improving ourselves. And so if we're not trying to be the best version of ourselves, then it's going to be very difficult for us to actually bring that to our teams and to our community as well. And the really good news is I've seen this now in several different organizations. I've seen it in the work we've been doing here with Perfectly Here, and I've seen it with the Inner MBA program that I've been with for 3 years now. It's one of the places I first worked with and met Manijeh in MBA, and that's been really growing in terms of community. And I've also seen it a lot with the Planet Positive organization, IEEE, based out of California, that we've been working with, doing the global methodologies papers on. And then finally, I've seen it with the Inner Development Goals. The Inner Development Goals movement has been really growing tremendously in the 3 years it's been going. And now it has several hundred hubs around the world. And those hubs are really working together to bring the qualities and skills that leadership need to make the sustainable development goals happen. And what's really interesting is that you start to see a lot of these things saying the same things, which is great. Last week I was in Amsterdam. I was in a conference for business conscious leadership and businesses, and it was really amazing how I started to see a lot of things that I've seen in other organizations and other groups also happening, which was excellent. So it's a really good time, Manijeh, for us to continue to have the Connection Hour, I think.
Hello, hello. Hi. You know what? I've been sending links out to people. So sorry about that. Hi, everybody. Susan Macaulay. Is that right, Macaulay? Yeah. Welcome, Jose Arroyo. And Anna's iPhone. Anna, do I know you, Anna? I believe so. I'm just calling out the names that I'm not sure about if I know in person, but let me just, okay, restart, refresh. If you would like to just join me in there is something about Arabic, okay? Leaving meeting. Something is going on here, okay? I want to ask us to join in on a little bit of a settling in. I think that would be useful, definitely for me and all of you. And so just join me. If you like to close your eyes, that would be good. If not, just going inward, checking in with yourself. Let's take a deep breath, wherever you are, however you're positioned, standing, sitting, walking. One breath in. And just check in with this utmost precious being that is you. Like Matthew said, if we don't pay attention to ourselves and be the best we can be, it's hard to maneuver in life. And so being that best is by checking in. How does it feel to be in this body right now? How does it feel to be in this mind right now? And so take a breath. Let your shoulders relax, your face relax, and tune in if you feel any kind of physical activity. Your heart may be moving, you feel it. Maybe you feel your chest rising, falling. If you feel any tension or tightness, you can relax, release. And pay attention to the one who is experiencing this moment, this time. Maybe there are thoughts racing through your mind about something else. Maybe you're thinking, what is this all about? But whatever brought you here, that you took time to check in, to come in here, to connect. Pay attention to that underlying need and desire. Take a deep breath. Let it out. If it's something that might be okay for you, you can put your hand on your chest or anywhere on your body as an indication to connecting with yourself. And in your mind, I'd like for you to say to yourself, I am here for you. I am here for you. Not just in this moment, but in going through this life. I am here for you. And as you say that, notice what feelings come up. Are these feelings of trusting, feeling reassured? Or maybe a little sadness that I haven't been here for myself? Just pay attention what shows up. And so see what's appropriate to tell yourself. If you feel you haven't been there for yourself, maybe you can make an intention that you will be there for yourself. If you have been there for yourself, maybe you see how that feels. Feeling of satisfaction, contentment. Just relax into it. Breathe out. And if you would just concentrate on one breath, feeling one full breath in, feeling the exhalation fully. And then softly, gently, if you can open your eyes. Okay. So for those of you who are first time meeting me, I'm Manijeh Motaghy. I have a doctorate in organizational psychology and mindfulness teacher for UCLA and several other developments in these areas. But most importantly, I think I'm the founder of Perfectly Here. And throughout so many years of learning, practicing to be conscious, to be aware, to be mindful, to be kind, to be connected, all this good stuff, and teaching it to others, I found some modalities, some methodologies, some essential things that we all need to learn as human beings. And so I've been putting them out. They have now become synthesized and sort of come to be, I'm calling them mindful life optimization, which is really understanding what life is all about in three sort of domains. One is the systems that govern us and run our lives, and we make up our own systems, how that impacts us. The other is how our environment, our planet is, what's going on with that and in relationship to us. And the third one is our human life, our experience, our the way we go through life, and the inner qualities we need, the inner qualities we don't have, the navigation system we need to, go through all these different relationships and experiences in life. So the purpose really of this connection hour is to gather. We used to do this a lot and then stopped. So to gather us again around and see, how is everybody doing? Do you check in with yourself regularly? How am I doing? How are you doing? Do you ask yourself? Are you with yourself? And then professionally, and then in the relationship to the bigger world. Where are we? What are we up to? What are we doing? So thank you so much for Matthew and Mary to jumping in and getting this started while I was thinking about what happened with the link, that people are having issue coming in. So this is our life, we plan and we plan and then things go wrong. So we have to, be calm and this is how it is. Right now, this is the choppy water I'm navigating, right? That is, the links are not working. Half the people are not here. So, okay. So we want to give the space to all of you who are here, each of you, to please offer who you are, what you're up to, if you want to talk about any challenges or any solutions you or your industry or your company or is going through these things, just tell us a little bit about yourself briefly so we get to know one another better. And I can't tell you how happy I am for each and every one of you to be here, because you're taking time and selecting this forum to be here. It is precious. We are all, privileged to be together, each one of us. So please go ahead. Anybody who wants to, either you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself. It's a smaller group today, so, and share. Yes, Richard, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Hi, it's been a long time. It's great to see you again. So Manijeh and I met, I'm going to guess 10 years ago when you, through a UCLA program that you were teaching through, probably 10 years. And, my life changed a lot. My wife had passed away. I think I mentioned to you about that. I moved out here to the desert and have a new life now. And I just missed the mindfulness experience. Sometimes when I've been getting anxious, I remember, okay, stop, get into a different mindset. And of course, I go right to all of the instructions that you provided. And then I also miss you as a friend. So it's great. And it's great to hear your voice. I've always loved your tone and voice. And I'm hoping to, I'm not hoping, I will continue these sessions as you offer them on Zoom. So it's great to be here. And I found your mindfulness training to be helpful when I get into a kind of a negative place. So thank you.
That's wonderful. It's so good to see you, Richard. It's been a long time. Yeah. Thank you so much. Who else would like to go?
Hi, my name is Jose. Oh, sorry, Stephanie, it looked like you were raising your hand. You're good. My apartment is too awful to show. So, but I was brought here at the recommendation of a friend. I turned 60 recently, and I heard the captain announcing our descent, and I started getting anxious. So she said, you should probably check out this perfectly here. Sorry if I got that wrong. And see what that's all about. So that's what brought me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Who was this friend? May I ask?
Oh, her first name is Erin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yes.
Well, very good to have you, Jose. Thank you
you.
for joining us. Yeah. Who else?
I'll get going then. Hi, Manijeh. How are you?
Hi, sweetheart. Hi.
It's been a while. Yes, and we met through the IEEE Planet Positive project almost 3 years ago already. Time flies.
Yeah, at Stanford, right?
Yeah, Stanford, yes. And I met Matthew in La Hague, I think, when I went there, and it's still been going on. It's put me in contact with such amazing people. These programs. So when you nudged me the other day, I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we need to get in touch again and connect again, because well, it's important. That's where most of the work is, isn't it? That's internal work and that connection. Without that, there's not much that's worth it, really. so I don't know. I'm here today. I'm glad to be connecting, and then we'll see where in the next few sessions will take us. But yes, I try, like everybody, I think, to reconnect. It's that, going back to center, any point in time in the day. It's not always easy, and it's most needed when you're in the middle of turmoil and so many things happening and calling on your attention in every corner, so much so that you feel very thin. So it's going back to the depth is more than useful. It's vital. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I know this is about 5:30 or something for you AM, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's
And
okay.
so this tells us how meaningful that could be for you to connect with people who are on the same path and sharing the same kinds of hurdles and challenges and solutions and ideas. And we humans, honestly, it is not easy to be human. Did you know
Nope.
that?
It's not.
Does everybody know this? That it's not easy to be human? Because it makes a difference. If you know that across the board, just being a human species, I'm talking about, really, a human species, it's not easy because we don't have the perfect design. Nature did not give it to us. I don't know why. We kind of became the outliers and said, no, we want our own will and we're going to make it on our own self. And, we're not going by the nature's pre-designed program. I'm not going to be the lizard. I'm not going to be, and look what we do. We complicate things, we throw ourselves into places that we don't know what to do, how to relate to somebody who's, who doesn't know what to do. They don't know the better way to behave and be. And so it's not easy to be human. So please be kind to yourself and others. Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. Who else wants to go? What inspired you to be here? Of all the places you could be right now, what are you trying to hear and take away or give a message? What's in the heart?
I can share what brings me here, what inspires me to continue this work. It's just like kind of what Matthew said and what you said, to piggyback off of that, is and also what Lou said earlier, that COVID still is affecting people, or like that mindset and everything. And I think more than ever, we have so many obstacles we face, right? Or there's all sorts of different obstacles everyone goes through. And in order to reach our goal, we need all these individuals to come together, right? And it's hard to kind of put such a solid foundation in place to bring them together, right? Kind of start from a good structure, and MLO can provide the vehicle for that, to implement it so that we can all try to understand and be better and just move forward. And even if there are obstacles, we have a different perspective of them. And I think we've been so detached, and there's such ambiguousness that like people are struggling with. And it's also election year, so people are on edge too, and there's all sorts of things to consider. And I think MLO is a great tool to bring in to start, so we can get to that goal, because 1 billion people, to come together requires 1 billion different people to conquer and manage their obstacles. And I think MLO brings that hope and that tool. So for me, that's inspiring. And I feel like we can get ahead, there's promise.
Yeah. So you say MLO and you sound so passionate about it. And I'm wondering, somebody here must think, what the heck is this MLO?
Good segue, no?
Right? Yeah, raise your hand. What is she talking about? So let me just tell you a little story. I got into mindfulness, like Richard came to one of those classes and teaching it in the secular format for UCLA, which it is really a fantastic curriculum and covers a lot of different bases for conscious living and having a more kindness and compassion, understanding what compassion is, what generosity is, what joy, is, because we have some notions of these qualities, and a lot of them are circumstantially we tap into them. For example, if we may feel compassionate for somebody we already know or feel about, related. So if there's somebody, like, for example, there was a story I heard that this friend of mine was driving and the road was, there was a lot of traffic, and there was obviously somebody ahead was kind of causing this traffic because they were, slanted. Their car was situated in a slanted way, and the whole line was, clogged. And so they're like, she's getting antsy, she's getting irritated, she's getting like, well, I can't believe this person, they don't know what to do, how to drive, and having all kinds of judgment and irritation. And then the road opens up, another road opens up, and as she's driving, she got to see who the driver of that car was. It was her best friend, Sue. And she said, oh my God, Sue, that's you. All of a sudden, compassion came about, or empathy, or understanding, or kindness, because it's related. But then these courses were teaching what is the heart of compassion, regardless, kindness, regardless of anybody deserving it or not, regardless of, how do we benefit from it, And so as I kept teaching all these things, and also a lot more wisdom practices, and a lot more going deeper into meditation and looking at your own, difficulties and how to calm, how to do this, how to do that, I realized people still had some other agendas that would make them be afraid, have anxiety, have fear, and not be happy. And that would be like something like the spiders, like the mosquitoes, the spiders, and like a snake or something that they hated. So it was so justifiable for them to be unhappy in that area. So then I realized, you know what? Where else can we sort of tackle this idea or this experience of unhappiness? Where else can we reduce our anxiety and stress? It's not just to regulate emotions, but also to understand some other life matters that are, to me, seemed like this is an intelligence we are lacking. If I understood, if I had a little bit of a different kind of a connection to the spider, for example, or the cockroach, for example, and Bonnie, welcome, I see you here. And she was one of those people in those classes I'm talking about, that we could also reduce a little bit of this stress that comes circumstantially because, you see a cockroach in your bathroom. Now you are all, like, I mean, I would get ruffled and get really like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I should kill it. Immediately we have the killing thing, right, in our mind. So I started to develop that part of our human relationship with the students, and it was profound. It was profound what I gave them an assignment, a research assignment, to take the thing that you hate, the creature you hate that's bugging you, and every time you see it is, the bees and the this and the that and all of the, go research and see. This is way back, I mean, not way back, but back in, I don't know, beginning of maybe before the pandemic. Go see what is the purpose of this thing. Why is this fly, you know, such a nuisance? Why is this even here? Right? Did you ever think about that? Well, all we think about is no, flies are dirty, kill them. I mean, in the past, before all the, you know, education about the environment. And so that gave me another aspect into where else can we reduce human suffering and make ourselves more intelligent about life, you know? So this MLO became 3 domains, like I said in the beginning, that if we humans become more capable, skilled at navigating, this word navigating is, this term is so used, maybe overused, I don't know. But this navigation system, you know how you take the Google Maps or any kind of a driving map that would tell you where to go, you put the address in there, it will you know, create the route, tells you where to go, how to go. On the way, it tells you these are the obstacles. Oh, there is traffic coming up. There is accident on the way. I will reroute you. You can go the other way. Or once you know, you just sit there patiently while this passes. But the inner navigation system, do we have that to know what is the destination on every moment, every day? Where am I going? Google Maps can tell us, look, that destination over there that you're going, I don't recommend it. Doesn't have that wisdom. It's exactly like how our brain works. Our brain doesn't have wisdom to tell us this path, this direction, this route, even in the moment, right? In the moment that this line of thinking is not a good path, don't go there. So we need to develop these things, right? And I'm now looking at it as a inner navigation system that we can develop and optimize it, upgrade it. What is the cause of my unhappiness? And how do I cause others unhappiness, environment, society, and all of that? I realize I can't just be picking on one idea. From where I have become developed and developing people, I realize humanity needs those to become good at in those 3 areas. Your own experience and how to regulate and be very good at it, relationship to other people, relationship to the environment, and the systems that govern all of us, everything. I'm going to stop talking and see what does that bring up for any of you in your field, in your relationship to life. What are you, like, I know, Stephanie, you are involved in solutions about some of these issues. Take a couple of minutes and share with us.
I'm doing a lot of work. I've been working in sustainability for a long time, over 15 years, but the past few years, I have worked with what it means to engage with artificial intelligence, but for the benefit of the whole. And it's been an enormous challenge because this is one of those hip subjects that is leaving behind a lot of people. And so lately, I was invited actually a week and a half ago at the AI for Good Summit. And I ran a 1.5 day workshop with people, which was a little bit counter to the rest of the conference because it was about centering on what I call the unusual suspects of AI, or people that are invisible, and finding ways of connecting and starting from communities when we think of problems, to understand them and frame them before we get into solution mode. And it's been quite amazing because people actually didn't go to the summit and stayed with us for a day and a half, just starting from there, from community, and then developing visions of preferred futures, the places where they would like to be, and finding out how they could imagine themselves and their community in that future, and then starting to look at what would be the pathways towards them. And so it's been quite humbling and amazing to do that, because it's pretty much taking the opposite way to how that tech is being talked about at the moment.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of you experts. So in your own way, even one little step can make a big difference. And then spending time with people for a whole day and a half, exploring, massaging, refining ideas, exchanging, understanding. It's and you have to see that the number of people who are in the solution compared to the 8 billions of us, those who are in the solution and creating change is very nominal. Everybody else is doing their life, they're just doing their life, and following structures, and whoever is selling something, let's go buy that new thing, and whoever is setting a rule, let's follow the rule or not, let's complain or not, for most of us, they're not, I don't know, there's no 1 billion people who are in the solution. I don't think so. Look at the number of people who show up to these things, right? So it's meaningful, isn't it, to be here and share these things with each other. I see Anna. Anna, go ahead, love.
Hi. Sorry, I was on mute because there was a lot of noise, but now I'm in a parking lot, so it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm a coach, so basically I'm kind of on semi-retired, almost retired, but not quite. And I work with a friend that trains coaches, and I see this is so vital, all the things that you mentioned, to make sure that the coaches bring that to the table, that they bring that when they work with the organizations that they work with the upper management that they work with. I think it's so important, because if you have empathy and compassion and ability to listen, to understand, all of those, and being mindful and being present, all are so necessary for you to be an effective coach. So I think this is crucial and important, and because this is the way that we're going to change the world. We change the world one person at a time, one action at a time, and that's how we change things.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for doing the coaching. And, we humans, we need coaches, we need trainers, we need people who have figured out something to tell us. We don't have the design. So thank you for doing that. So I'm looking at Susan. Susan, I don't know if you would like to share or not. This is a small group, but
Okay.
you're okay. Well, I'm telling you, I'm seeing you, and I'm wanting to connect with you. That's my wish. That's my desire. So thank you for being here. Bonnie, how have you been?
Okay. Sorry I came late, although I told you I had musicians union board meeting today. I've taken Manijeh's classes, and boy, just even listening the few minutes here now since I came, good reminders of all the things that are very helpful. Reminding me of a lot of the things I learned in your classes, and just yeah, learning to let go of things and move ahead and yeah, I can't wait to read your book. It's about to come out. So
It's so good to see you, Bonnie. It's been a long time. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Richard. Yeah.
So two questions to Mary. The acronym MLO, am I supposed to be familiar with that? What does that mean? MLO. What is it?
Mindful life.
Mindful what?
Mindful life optimization.
Oh, as Susie just said, mindful. Where is that? Is that on the screen?
Up here next to.
Okay. Mindful life optimization. And Manijeh, tell me about the book. Tell us about the book.
So, yeah, so I've been writing this book. It started by me calling it Mindfulness is Not Enough. You know, because I realized the mindfulness secular movement is cutting out a lot of essential other things that, you know, are aligned with mindfulness, that skills and knowledge and concepts and qualities. So I set out on this mission to bring the rest of it to the world, which was the Eightfold Path and other teachings of the Buddha. But then, you know, when pandemic happened, and I also prior to that, I had started to get into the planets and get into the environment and other things that impact our life. And I got into AI a lot, got into science a lot, different kinds of sciences. I read like 25 books during the pandemic, you know, and I don't just read, not novels, nothing like that. I get into stuff. There was a lot of time on my hand. So the book now has evolved. It went through several stages, and it's now evolved to the name of it is It's Not Easy to Be Human. I realize I keep saying that to people, to say, don't take it so hard on yourself or others. You know how we say to children sometimes as parents, especially newly parents, why did you do that? You shouldn't have done that. You should know better, right? And it's like, really? How could they have known better? How should they know better? Why should they know better if they haven't fully, completely, properly been trained, taught, modeled, practiced, and developed those neural pathways so their brain could behave like that? How could it be possible? So same thing with adults, right? You should be responsible. How could responsible? First, you have to be able to respond, and that respond to what? Every situation has its own appropriate response. Oh my God, millions of different moments and things that we have to be able to respond to. So just because we say we have these notions that somebody is responsible, they are responsible, they should be responsible, they need to be accountable. Accountable, able to be accounting for their thoughts, their ideas, their actions, their feelings, their body, and then the choices and the result. I mean, this is complicated to be human. So when I realized I keep saying it's not easy to be human, I thought, okay, that's the name of the book then. Forget about the mindful life optimization, human software optimization, life intelligence, okay, they're all nice. So then that's the name of it. And it's really a compassionate kind of a journey that I'm taking the reader through to understand the things I'm saying right now, that we were not born with perfect design. And then we had to learn. And who taught us? They don't know. They didn't know the best ways. they could have been overwhelmed and they were ignoring and neglecting and giving us some of the good stuff, some of the false stuff. And we make up stories as we go, you know? We make up stories like, by the way, we've gone 3 minutes over the time. I want to officially announce that, you know, the time is officially over, but please let's stay if you can and talk a little bit more. But if you have, you know, have it that set that you have to get off, please do so. Set time to go. So, you know, like it's like my niece would come and, you know, she wants to go to the pond downstairs. We have fish. At the time we had some fish in the pond. So she would say, Auntie, let's go to the pond. And it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's sunny. It's hot. I don't want to go. So I said to her, do you know right now? Oh, Auntie, let's go feed the fish, she would say. Feed the fish. I said, do you know, sweetheart, right now it's so hot. If we feed the fish right now, it's so hot, they're gonna throw up. It's bad for them. Because I just want to get it off my back so that we don't go down there, right? So she's 4 years old. What is she gonna do? She's gonna believe that. That would be a piece of the puzzle of this information about the fish, let's say, right? And then how many thousands and thousands of white lies, if you even will, we say that become a part of our, you know, truth, fact checking and truth, you know, becomes biases, becomes all kinds of, you know, all kinds of perspectives and paradigms that we base our life on. So the book talks about these things and then gives a methodology that we can, gives like these knowledge, life intelligence lessons that I feel like all humans, if we all knew and we're good at it and became skilled at it, life would be so much different. It's like reprogramming. And so there's a methodology I'm offering, like a 5-stage that I found organically to work, that this is how we're going to reprogram not reprogram, but actually do the programming properly, the coding to be properly. Look, every time we give a white lie, what's going to happen? It's a little bit of a distorted reality. Our brain, our mind becomes used to the distorted reality, not the actual thing that's happening. And we live through these web of interwoven false realities. And we suffer for it because when reality hits, we weren't in that, you know, we weren't thinking that way. We were basing our, you know, thoughts or conclusions or assumptions on. There's a lot, you know, that I cover. There are some things about the brain, how we are born with biases. We are inherently biased. We have to be biased by our brain design, right? And so, but that's not wise. So in order to overcome those biases, we have, to me, it felt like if we understood that brain science is not telling us that, look, there is no amygdala, there is no fear center, there are no 3 layers of a brain. The brain was not like this little old, you know, fear center and then emotions built on it and then logic built on it. That's been debunked. What's the use of this? The use of this is that when we use theories that are assumptions, not the actual best theories, we also cannot progress in our well-being, in our happiness, in our, you know, development of how life works. So this book is trying to provide a lot of these things. There are 3 domains that I have life intelligence lessons under each. And also I describe stories about, you know, maybe students or clients or myself the challenges we encountered and why, and like where does the fear of the cockroach comes? The first time you see a cockroach, your mom says, get the shoe, let's kill it. Child doesn't know. Yeah, we should hate this thing and have no idea how amazing this creature is. How smart it is, how much it helps us in our existence. Without the cockroaches and crickets and all the crawly things, life would not be, we would not be able to sustain our nourishment. They are immensely, they have roles. So I'm trying to cover all these things, and then also I touch on the systems we construct, like business systems, governmental systems, religious systems that are not in alignment with what actually works. They eventually hit an obstacle, or ideas or theories. Like back in the 60s, I believe it was, this economist, his name escaping me. This economist brought the idea that the corporations' number one and only goal is to create profit for the shareholders. That's it. The corporation's job, the structure, the business model, everything that goes on, the only goal is to produce profit for its shareholders. Anybody who said, but what about charitable work? What about, bringing goodness? This economist said, you create profit for the shareholder. It's their business what they want to do with their money. They've invested, hence they profit. That's it. So that became an incredible, theory to base economy and business and the competitive edge. Oh my God. So that first, that plus other theories that we humans have come up with and made them very popular, right? A lot of, like, emotional intelligence, the part of emotional intelligence that says, oh, you can know, if you learned how other people's facial expression changes, you can know what they're feeling and thinking. Billions of dollars went into developing teams and managers and, corporations and salespeople and everybody to teach them this emotional intelligence. It's debunked. It is not accurate. You cannot tell by looking at a Japanese person how they feel, as opposed to an Italian person. You cannot tell what by facial muscles tightening or moving or whatever it looks like, that they are enjoying the food or they're hating the food. So there is a lot that, I'm covering in this book. The book was supposed to be 4 books. And the main one that introduces these concepts and qualities and things we need to develop, and 3 that would be a companion to. However, when I gave the book to the copy editor, she said, Manijeh, you can refer to learn more in the, companion book number 2 about this and develop it when that book is not already published or simultaneously published. You can't do that. So I took all of that out. And in order to make this one book, I actually semi-complete enough by itself that it can give all the things and the process and the development and the, which is good for coaches and anybody. We're training people to become MLO professionals. And I say professional instead of coach, because then that professional could take these trainings and concepts to any setting. They can teach it to anybody they want to in any setting, not necessarily as a coach or a therapist. So now the book is being gone through, oh my God, so many edits, and it's evolving, and I'm ready to send it to the proofreaders which I'm worried now because every time somebody, and these are professionals who edited it, they would change, the grammar or something, and the heart of the intention of that sentence or a statement would be changed. Like, I didn't mean to say that. So I had to go and redo a lot of it. Now I'm worried about the final stage, going through proofreading. If they change things that are not, because the intention, right? Even a comma, put it over here or over there, could change the meaning. So there is a day that I'll be done with this one-eyed list. But I'm really excited about it. I'm so grateful to it because I have learned and grown so much. And I feel like, with me, honestly, Mary, with all the vision, that mission and work that we have planned ahead of us to continue doing for 20 years, by me personally putting this book out published, I feel like I've paid my dues. It is so comprehensive, and I have very much wanted to make the language of it relatable and understand, not a textbook. It was so easy to make a textbook. Oh, I swear, it was so easy. But I have changed and changed and changed every sentence several times, and every time these editors changed something that was not the right way that I wanted, the right intention, I was happy. I thought, oh, okay, they don't get it, so I need to say it better, so it's relatable, so you can relate to it and benefit from it and be inspired by it, and it's really a compassionate journey to take people on to see that this is human life. Was not designed perfectly. And then I talk about design of the planet, all that too. Go ahead.
When's the big day?
When's the big day? Well, we do have a pre-order link actually on the website, and I am guesstimating that it would be by about end of September, end of September, maybe early October, but around before the holidays for sure. I'm hoping, yeah. And it would be amazing because I'm definitely going on TEDx talks, on different talks. I'll be going around, not to promote me or the book, but to expose more people to understand more pieces, because there's a lot of bits and pieces of amazing information out there. To me, this is a collection of necessary qualities and skills and understandings we need to have that I'm putting out there. And it's not exclusive or inclusive or final, but yeah, thank you, Richard, for asking that. I don't know if is anybody excited about this. What would you like to do? Can we get together again? We're getting together with some other people, maybe hopefully on Saturday. Please come back if you have time. Let's continue and offer who you are. You are part of this. We are not separate. If you read the book, I established that we are how one we are with each other, and not just with each other, with everything else. And so let's stay in touch. I can send the link if everybody is interested to the pre-order of the book. And also we have on the 30th, we'll have a retreat, which will be on Zoom and in person. So people are interested to come for a day of doing that thing that you were talking about, practicing to be mindful, meditating a little bit, sitting, walking, eating mindfully, listening to these, things that will remind us about the goodness of our own hearts and logic. So that's one thing. And then there for sure is a course coming up to teach the methodology to people, to coaches or anybody else who want, hey, I don't own this. I want you to have it. Honestly, I'm only interested in keeping it, keeping the heart of it and the intention of it pure. But I want every single person to have the method and the knowledge and make it yours, you know? Yeah. Anything else, anybody? Matthew, do anything comes to you want to add?
Sure. Yeah. So thanks for the explanation on MLO. It's really good. And I've seen a lot of it grow over that you've been building it over the last few years too. I think my biggest reflection here is I think Connection Hour was a gift to ourselves and to each other. It's a sort of space where people can come and drop in. It's not like any other meetings that we have during the week, which is always about being on time and rush. Let's take the time to come and spend some time together. You know, it's the world, even post-pandemic, even though we can get back together, there's a lot of loneliness. There's a big need for connection. People talk about how membership to groups and churches is going down. So the opportunity for something like Connection Hours to fulfill some of the needs that we all have to connect to others. The other big thing that's really interesting for me is that there's so many crises in the world, you know, where the majority of the world is going to election this year. We hear about different pandemics. We hear about the problems with the elderly, the problems with the kids, the teenagers, mental health, drug addiction. So it's really difficult to try to navigate how we're meant to get through all these different crises. And they're all coming at us. And I think that a lot of what you're offering in the MLO book is a good way and a good path forward, not only for fixing ourselves, but how we address the planet. And then I think the last thing I wanted to just mention, and several people talked about it too, the things like sustainable development goals and fixing the planet, it's the work of the century. I mean, we have technology like AI at our fingertips now, and we have the potential to really fix a lot of things if we come together in these types of communities and work together on that. And it's up to this time in history to work on those things. So I think that that's why I'm personally very behind the Sustainable Development Goals, because I do think it's the work of the century, and all the technologies and all the innovations and all the teamwork and everybody working together is going to do that. Or else the alternative to not doing that is unthinkable. And again, you talk about that in the book as well. That's a really important thing with MLO as well, talking about how we make the work of the century happen as well. So yeah, I really enjoy these things. I think some people coming to these things think it's a little bit slowed down, but that's by design, and that's what I love about it too. We really come here to just drop in and spend time together and to connect. And thank you very much.
I mean, thank you, Matthew. You've been so instrumental, really, all this time that you've been with us, past few years, in keeping the connection hours going. Matthew was one who said, "When is the connection hour coming back? When is the connection hour coming back?" Every once in a while, he would remind me, "When are you bringing?" Okay, let's do it. Thank you, and he's done so much. You've done so much great work in the world with your leadership, involvement, and all the ways that you are involved in the world. Thank you for helping out, looking out for trauma sensitive groups, and it's trauma informed sort of practices, and being sensitive to each other's experiences that are not easy. It's not easy to be human. There's a book coming up. Tell other people. And yeah, so thank you for being here. We have a recording of this. We will send it out to you guys if you like to watch it again. If you have ideas for these connection hours that you want us to include, if you know speakers you want to invite, please let's make these hours yours. Someplace you can go and you can express how you feel, take away something, ask for what is it you want to cover. Look, we can cover a lot of bases. You could see from the emotions, human emotions, to work environment, to planetary, to relationships. We can cover a lot of bases. So any that matters to you at this time in your life, bring it, use this for yourself, use the space, and why not? And please be a part of it. I put a link in the chat. If anybody wants to have time and would like to be involved with us and volunteer, you know, I put a link. You can click on that and see how you'd like to be involved. Let us know. If you have articles about these things that you would like for us to take a look and possibly add to our resources, go for it. And I'm going to have a blog section for the book. I will send all of that out. Does anybody have anything else to say? Last words? Randy, Lou, Mary?
I mean, I'd like to say that I really enjoyed this, and I hope we really continue this because it has to be a collaborative effort. If we can't, I mean, to get to our goal, we all have to really come together. But also, like, it's the insights you gain and applying all this really, especially as a clinician, really takes you out of just talking the talk and really walking the walk too. But in a way, you're allowing yourself to be kind to yourself and grow from it, right? So the mindfulness aspect also makes this not just like talk therapy. It can also make it an experiential modality, right? A somatic experience where healing and everything can happen. So I think it really encompasses it all. And it's, again, collaboration is key, I think.